Good morning, my good people. I am daughter Deanna Fields, where I serve as illustrious commanders of Zimbo Corps number 130, Oasis of Milwaukee, Desert of Wisconsin. Today, along with my colleagues, we present to you the Media and Marketing Workshop Series 7, the refresher. So some of the topics we'll discuss today will be ball protocol, etiquette, common courtesies, proper attire, and the parade registration. Up next, we will have Noble Cyril Charity, past potentate of Magnus Temple number 3.
Good morning, everybody. Here this morning, we're going to talk about one of the topics that go on throughout this domain that's been debated more than Jordan and Kobe, ball protocol. So let's talk about this. Order of remarks. So what we have at a joint ball, Deputy 4 of the Desert, which means daughters first, noble second. Next, elected Imperial Court officers, committee members, then divan officers, then elected Imperial Council committee members, divan officers, illustrious commandress, illustrious potentate. Temple balls, otherwise known as potentate balls in some places. Same order. The commandress, however, speaks first in this instance. Say it again. At a temple ball, the illustrious commandress speaks first. Then we go into deputies for and of the desert, elected Imperial Court committee and officers, elected Imperial Council committee and officers, then the illustrious potentate, no others. Lastly, we'll talk about a court or commandress ball. This time, it's the exact opposite. Illustrious potentate goes first. Deputies for and of the desert. Elected Imperial Court committee and divan members. Elected Imperial Council committee and divan members. Then the illustrious commandress and no others. One easy tip to take with you that can help you remember the difference when it comes to the singular, which means the temple or the court balls, is that the head of that house always speaks last. From there, let's go into another piece of protocol that often gets overlooked. Table etiquette and common courtesies. Boy, oh boy, this ought to be a good one. So what we see here is a common formal dinner layout. You'll see that you have your plates, your forks, your knives, your spoons, different glasses, things like that. Let's explain them a little bit. Your silverware, we always go from the outside in. On your left, you have a salad, dinner, dessert at the top. On the right side, you have soup spoon, teaspoon, dessert spoon at the top. Dinner fork will always be on the right-hand side. Is that fair to left-handed people? Absolutely not. I didn't make the rules, I just follow. Our plates, generally at a formal setting, you'll have your plate set up from top to bottom. Let's take a quick look at that. If you look at the diagram, you'll see where it looks like 3 rings on top of each other. The smallest at the top in the middle is your salad plate. That generally is a clear plate, will sit on top. Salad being the first course, it only makes sense. Underneath that will typically be the dinner plate. Now here's where something gets a little contentious. What is that thing on the bottom? It's called a service plate, which is basically there for decoration, but it's the plate that they actually put your dinner plate, which typically would have hot food, underneath to not burn a tablecloth, your lap, or things of that nature. Now, with that being said, if you look at the layout, move clockwise from your napkin all the way around and you'll be safe. Example, first thing you should do is pop your napkin, put it in your lap. Folks, read the slide. Napkins go in your lap, not around your neck. I can't make this up. Now, from there, move clockwise around. Start with your bread plate, butter your roll, You see your water, wine, coffee. Now, let's talk about something there. As you take your time and move clockwise around the setup throughout dinner, here's one point that always happens. Somebody gets up, reaches across the table to grab the butter, grab the rolls. Folks, just stay seated and politely ask your neighbor to pass the condiments from either direction. Lastly, I'll talk about something that I guess debated a little bit, but not talked about enough. Nobles, chivalry is not dead. Too many times we see daughters walk up to the table and they probably were escorted by the host temple escort, but no noble takes the time to simply stand up, pull their chair out, push their chair in. Another thing that happens, we often see where daughters are moving around the ballroom unescorted, whether it be to go to the powder room or have to actually step outside for a call or something of that nature. Nobles, let's be nobles. Simply extend your arm to a daughter, offer to walk her to the door, and then go back to your seat. From there, everything's good. You don't have to follow her to the bathroom. You don't have to follow her to the office area. Just be a good gentleman and take her to the door. All right. This moves us into our next topic. This ought to be a good one because before we get into it, we've got a trivia question. Here's today's question. Nobles, what does winter formal consist of? Put your answer. All right, after that lovely Jeopardy music, did we get any answers in the chat? Not one? All right. Well, we got one. We got one. And I see who it's from. I appreciate you, Jody. Let's get into it. Winter formal for nobles. Matter of fact, noble attire for balls, period. Winter formal is from 1 October through 30 April and consists of the following. Listen close, everybody. Black tuxedo jacket and pants. That's right, because I know a lot of you all said black tails. Absolutely not. Black tuxedo jacket and tuxedo pants, a white formal shirt, of course, your black tuxedo vest, black bow tie, and of course, the common black socks, black formal shoes, your fez with appropriate collar, and your clean white gloves. I had to say the clean part. I'll just leave it there. Now, we'll get to the difference here in a minute, but let me reiterate this point. Winter formal dress is a black tuxedo. It is not tails. We will get into the difference here shortly. Summer formal, 1 May through 30 September. In all my years as a noble, I have never gone a year without multiple people asking me, when do we start wearing white? Here's your answer. 1 May through 30 September. Winter formal is all black tuxedo. Summer formal, you just swap the jacket. You go from a black tuxedo jacket to an all white dinner jacket. You still have your black tuxedo pants. You still have your white formal shirt. Everything else literally stays the same, just a different jacket. I'm going to leave this here just for a quick moment so everybody can take a look at it and kind of let it sink in. And this will, of course, be available for a very long time for you to refer to. All right. That being done, now let's get to what everybody wants to know. Why do we wear tails? Nobles, tails are considered white tie formal, in case any of you were ever wondering. Technically, to say tuxedo tails is incorrect. White tie formal. They are optional, underline optional, in place of the traditional winter formal. Basically, winter formal with tails is authorized 1 October through 30 April every year. Here's the difference. White tie, winter formal with tails, consists of a black tuxedo waistcoat and pants, a white formal shirt with a wing collar. What's the difference? A formal shirt can have a regular collar, similar to what I have on here. But when you're wearing white tails, white tie, you should be wearing a wing collar, which is known as more of a traditional tuxedo shirt. If you have any questions, put them in the chat on that and we'll get to it later. Next, you'll have on a white vest, which is a tuxedo or waistcoat style vest, white bow tie, tuxedo style that matches the vest and fabric, black socks, black formal shoes, Fez appropriate collar, clean gloves. I think I've said it 3 times now, Nobles. Clean white gloves. So we've talked about winter formal, summer formal, and our white tie, also known as winter formal with tails. Let's get into something now that I cannot speak on, but I know somebody who does because they are on that side of the fence.
Good morning. I'm sorry, a few technical difficulties, but my name is Dr. Demetria Weidman from the Better Than Amazing Al-Karim Court, number 219, Oasis of Riverdale, Desert of Georgia. And this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about formal attire for the daughters. So we take a lot of this stuff for granted, but we should really lean in and go over exactly what we should wear. The first thing on the list is the white dress. Okay, I can't get any further than this because we don't always get white at these events. The test is always to hold a piece of paper up to your dress and see if it passes the paper test. The paper test will help you determine if your dress is indeed white and therefore appropriate for daughter attire. Let's talk about what's underneath the dress, and that's white lingerie. That's everything, ladies. Your bra, your panties, everything that's underneath that dress should be white. And I'm going to tell you, we can tell when it's not. Don't skip that very important part. There are also white slips. Full slips are always appropriate. When you don't have them, a half slip. And maybe sometimes if you don't have a full slip, you can get a white undergarment like a t-shirt or something like that that's sleeveless to also help cover you if you feel a little bit undercovered when you're putting on your white undergarments. All white shoes. We've seen a lot of different variations of this, but remember, if it's not all white, it's not right. Take a look at the bottoms of your shoes. We've seen a little bit of everything out there. I know people want to rock popular shoes, red bottoms, etc., but they're just not acceptable for daughter attire. Now, when you're talking about the shoe itself, mesh shoes, lucite shoes, they're permissible. So you can go find some cute little shoes that don't have to all be the granny white shoes, but please make sure everything on your shoes are white. This next one should go without saying, but white stockings. If you're ever feeling like you want to have flesh tone, you can rock those elsewhere, but just not as a part of your formal daughter attire. They have white stockings out in a lot of different places, or you can order them online. A lot of our vendors carry them, but white stockings are always appropriate. When your dress is very long, some people like to do white knee highs. Got to be careful. I've seen a couple of those roll down. Don't get embarrassed. Go ahead and get yourself some white stockings to wear with your daughter attire. A white bag. And it really should be all white with no color. We have seen them out there with the ISIS head, that is in color. People do carry those from time to time, but it's always safest to just get an all white bag. White gloves, that should go without saying as well. No fingerless gloves. It's not the 80s. Not going to be out here rocking your gloves with your nails coming through. You want your all white gloves. And as my predecessor said, please make sure they're clean. Wash them a little bit before you bring them out. Your regulation fez. Okay. We all have gone out and gotten fez. Sometimes we try to get them for the low. And then you take a look at the fez and you're like, what is that on the front of that fez? Be careful. Determine that you're buying your fez from someone who is authorized to sell for the organization. And then you can rock your fez with the stones, without, but just make sure that you have a fez that is properly representing the organization. A regulation fez. And we'll talk about cleaning that some other time, but some of these fezes need to be cleaned a little bit too. We don't need you out there in your tan fez. Your fez should be white. Only white jewelry may be worn. If you have an ankle bracelet, make sure that's white as well. And so most daughters are obviously wearing pearls, and they have them in a lot of different shapes, a lot of different designs. You can wear your pearl hoops, your pearl studs, but just make sure that all of your jewelry is white. From time to time, we do wear flowers or corsages, and those are only the flower. And, you can get into what's being allowed or what they're requesting that you wear. Like during October, sometimes we wear a pink flower for breast cancer. But remember that those flowers should not have any foliage, so there shouldn't be any green on the corsages that you wear. No silver or gold jewelry, including 8 ankle bracelets, shall be worn with your regalia. However, if for your wedding ring, obviously, we hope you're making an exception. Don't use this as an excuse to take it off. Go ahead and wear your wedding ring, but all your other jewelry should be white, no silver or gold. And that concludes our section on the daughter's attire. Next up, we're going to move on. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. I went through all of that, and I should have talked to you more about the daughter's attire for balls. All right. So formal length, that means all the way to the floor. We've seen a lot of ankles coming in and out of balls. You got to be careful and make sure that your dresses are long. For people who are tall like me, I just go get length added just to be safe. Not to have it so long that you're tripping over it, because you don't want that. But it should be floor length to the top of your shoes. Give yourself a little bit of grace. We don't need you tripping over your dress. No T length. Oh, and no bodycon, y'all. I know you've been working out. You're looking good. But please make sure your dresses are appropriate to be in the company of men, women, and children. We don't want to see all your extra work you've been doing in the gym or not in the bodycon dress. Sometimes you're going to pay a little bit more, and Fashion Nova dress may not do the trick. So be careful with bodycon. And then also no mermaid attire. Those can be very attractive, but they're not appropriate for daughter ball attire. Mostly everything else here is the same with your white lingerie, your all white shoes. Be careful with your shoes, ladies. Sometimes you want to rock those heels, and if you can rock them and still pull it off without tripping over your dress, please be my guest, but just be mindful with your shoes. The white stockings, and then specifically for a ball, you can have crystal or rhinestone jewelry. So that means white sequins. Well, you've seen these in your fez. And rhinestones should not reflect color. Your white handbag, you don't need your meeting bag for this. A nice small white handbag will do. Your gloves, again, no fingerless gloves. Your regulation fez. Now, with your dresses, long gloves are required if your dress is sleeveless
or a strapless gown. So no short gloves when you've got a sleeveless dress. You're still required to be covered, and the long gloves do the trick. Strapless gowns must be worn with a non-revealing and large enough formal jacket. So no little crop top jackets that are see-through, because then what's the point? It's not covering you up. Or you can have a shawl that covers the upper body. So we're always trying to be in decency and order. Please don't come with dresses that are revealing for a ball. Let's talk about the splits. Make sure you get these splits sewn down, ladies. If the splits in the gown are higher than your knee, it's too high. Either don't buy that dress or take it to a seamstress and have that split sewn down. And then no gowns with trains. We've seen some terrible accidents out there when people are walking with trains. You're good, but the person behind you is going to step on that train, and then we all going to be in trouble. So either get the train cut off or just pass on that dress. And now we'll move on to the Imperial Parade, brought to you by Deanna.
Hey y'all, it's me again. So now we are about to talk about a topic that is nerve-wracking for me. We're going to talk about the Imperial Parade. So why is it nerve-wracking? It's because sometimes we just don't listen. We give out as much information ahead of time so that everyone is prepared for the parade. We'll go over the parade registration requirements, participation expectations, some of the procedures for lineup, some guidelines about safety, and then we'll try to answer as many questions as possible towards the end. Now let's talk about this parade deadline. I will not stress it enough. August 3rd is the absolute deadline. Please don't try to contact the director, hustle. Please don't try to contact your administrators or your friends or whoever else. Because guess what? The deadline is just that, August 3rd. We know every year at Imperial Session there is a parade, so you know that you should be prepared for this parade. Now, what does this registration talk? What are we talking about registration? If you want your unit announced, you must register and receive the placard from the recorder's office. Registration is the same as it's been before. $40. So don't go on there trying to register and then you didn't pay the $40, and then the day of the parade, you're running us down asking for, why didn't you get your sign? Well, because you did not follow what we have explained to you as the process. So again, August 3rd, if you have not registered, paid the $40 for the placard, you can get in the parade. But please, later on, don't talk about the announcers. Don't talk about my peers and say, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, when the actual responsibility is on you. You didn't follow through with what was requested of you. Moving right along, we will have a mandatory participant meeting. What does that mean? Just that. There will be a mandatory meeting on August 8th. We will on 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central Time. This is just that, mandatory. That means you need to be present. Your representative needs to be present. At that time, we'll go over any questions you may have. But August 8th, we will not be adding anybody to the list because what did I just say? On August 3rd, that is the deadline. Again, we will not be adding anyone to the list. During that parade mandatory meeting, we'll go over some logistics and some things you may need to know, such as where to pick up your sign. Now, what did I just say a few minutes ago? All right, I'm going to say it again. If you did not register and pay your $40, you won't have a sign to pick up. So again, please do not ask why you don't have a sign if you did not follow the process. Also, we'll be going over staging times. Why are staging times important? And this is another part that I really need you to hear, because some of y'all can be downright disrespectful and rude and just come and try to bombard the staging area. We're giving you specific times to make sure that things are done in an orderly fashion, to make sure that we have people lined up appropriately. We want to make sure that you're lined up appropriately, so those announcers that we talk about so often, they have the correct order of people lined up. So if your unit has been instructed to be there at 3 p.m. and you come at 3:30, well, y'all gonna have to wait until we get everybody set up. And so that means we're not being rude, but we're asking that you learn how to follow. Some of y'all, not everybody, we're asking that you follow the rules that we have outlined in order for us to make sure this parade is done decent and in order. Up next, we will have remarks from none other than our director, Hustle Anderson.
I don't really have any remarks. There's some pretty good questions that were placed in the chat, and I'm not 1000% sure of the answer. For example, facial piercings, such as nose rings. What we will do is get an answer from the top, and we'll circle back. I want to go back to something that was stated earlier. We've confirmed that daughters can actually wear your red bottoms. You can wear your red bottoms as long as the rest of the shoe is white. So, because see, the way this question was put out there, I was like, oh no, then wear my red. No, you can't. You can't. We've confirmed it with the Imperial Commander. You can wear your red bottom, because I think she wear them too. But that's something else. Anyway, here we go. There's a lot of daughter questions. We're going to get the Imperial Commanders on here. So the thing that had pearls in it still be worn with silver with no reflecting color. I am not 100% sure. And I'm going to get an answer from the Imperial Commanders and let you know. Yes, these slides are going to be available. They will be in the app, in the AEAONMS app. Here, the cost of the floats. So I'm gonna focus on the parade mostly. The cost of the floats, this was put out already. There is a graphic about the floats. If I can get the tech team to find a graphic and put it up for us. Yeah, now y'all got the question. Why y'all ain't asked the question when they was on here? It's so much. Why y'all got to ask me? I don't know nothing. Let me see here. Going back to protocol, when do you allow advisors to speak, i.e. Grandmaster or worthy Grand Matron? All right, here's the thing about protocol, ladies and gentlemen. It is in black and white. It was revised in 2024. Now, this is a trick question because some people are going to call them a dignitary. Some people are going to say they're head of another house and they don't speak there. The answer is in the protocol. Read it. Also looking like I am in hiding, Brandon. Thank you for putting for absolutely irrelevant and pointless comments, sir. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let me get back to this. Are these slides? We answer that. Let me get on this parade. Deanna was very modest. Okay, she's very modest in her delivery. I'm not as modest. I'm gonna be a little bit more abrasive. Hey y'all, there are deadlines for a reason. See, when y'all don't follow the deadlines and then it delays everybody, one bad apple spoils the bunch. Then y'all look at IMR as in we are the reason that you didn't get your signs. I want to correct something that she said. I know what she was attempting to say. You can register for the parade for free. If you have your own sign, you can go on the form, fill it out, say that you have your own sign, you have registered. Okay? For those of us that do not have a sign or placard of some sort, that is where you pay the $40. You do not have to pay for a placard, have your own sign. But to her point, you still have to register. If your or your unit or your temple court department, etc., has not completed that form, feel free to jump in with your desert, but you will not be called individually. Okay. We have had problems in the past where people don't want to listen, for lack of better words. I'm not going to say what the reason is, but they don't want to listen. This year, you will be asked to step out of the parade. Okay. We don't have the time. The time to get it together is now. We don't have the time to argue and put people in and this, that, and the third in real time while on the ground in the staging area. Okay. When it comes to this parade, there are 3 communications going to come out and 2 workshops. If you are confused about the parade, by the time you get to Tampa, it's not on us. Okay, the Imperial Marshals and IMR are working hand in hand to make sure this is seamless. I think that's all I have for. There will be no deadline extension. Let me put that out there. There will be no deadline extensions for the parade. There will be no deadline extensions for the parade. Why? Because that list for the placards has to be into Imperial headquarters and by a certain date in order to ensure that everyone's placards are posted. There will be no extensions for the Imperial Parade. You additionally have to complete a registration on the form for each unit. If your temple is going to walk, if your clown unit in your temple is going to walk, fine. But if you only complete a registration for Palestine Temple, then Palestine Temple will be the only thing that's said when you pass by. If your clown unit name isn't put in on a separate registration, don't walk out the line and come to the table. Talk about our clown unit name, we don't care. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but we don't. Will these slides be available for future reference? Yeah, they will be in the AALMS app. I'm not gonna hold you all very long today because I don't see very many questions in the chat that would require me to give remarks. I do not know all the answers, and that's why I will get those answers from you from the top, especially those that are related specifically to daughters. No comment was made about shoes. No comment was made about shoes with clear stones for the ball. I don't understand that, but I'm a copy the question and maybe somebody else will, and we'll try to get you an answer. Going once, like they do. Do you have any further comments? Going twice. Oh, that's cute. Who made that? Ted, y'all made that. That's cute. All right, I'm gonna turn this over.
You forgot one more thing that you need to repeat over and over again, Hustle.
Ain't no deadline extension. Oh, that ain't it.
No, that one thing that you forgot, that if you don't register, your name's not gonna be called if we can't see your plaque.
Oh yeah. So those of you that have your own banners, handwritten signs are not sufficient. If we cannot see it within a reasonable amount of space, then there is no guarantee we're gonna call it. Shouting over at the announcer booth is not gonna work. Now, if y'all remember, this is the same route from last year. So as you come down, you're gonna curve into us, which limits our visibility. All right. Well, let me tell you that. I wouldn't care if we had binoculars. A handwritten sign is not gonna cut it. When we ask you to register and fill out the form, it asks you, do you have your own sign? Not talking about one that you're gonna write up when you go rent a car and then you use a Sharpie on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And some of y'all write like y'all been a doctor all that. We're not talking about that, okay? We're talking about actually you had a banner of some sort, or if you had a placard of reasonable size like the ones that are $40 for Imperial. We can use those. But if you don't have a sign that's reasonable, we are not calling your name. But feel free to get in with your desert once you show up at the parade, because that's about as much recognition as your unit is going to get. Anybody else from my team that wants to do something else up there? What y'all laughing at? I can see y'all in the background. They can't see y'all. I can see y'all. Anyway, do we have any more questions? Let me see. What is the cost of floats? Thank you for bringing that back up, Tech, which is the same Tech that I said, we all go find the flyer that has all this information on it, and then y'all didn't. But I'll go get it for y'all because y'all ain't do it. Let me see. Conventions. Here we go, right here. Because y'all make it seem like I don't know my job, and I do because I said, well, y'all bring it up, and y'all didn't bring it up, but I'm gonna put it back on the screen. I got something for y'all when this over. Let me see here. Communications, conventions, right here. See this? Okay. Here is the information regarding the floats. Because I asked Tech to show y'all this moments ago, and they didn't do it. Anyway, I don't have a dollar amount to answer your question other than the golf carts. The golf carts, $334, or what that is, $320, excuse me, $320 for a 6-passenger, $212 for a 4-passenger. You're going to have to call these good folks at Festival Floats to get an answer on a dollar amount for the floats. These are two separate companies. I did need to put that out. These are two separate companies, okay? So if you are looking for floats, don't go calling the golf cart people. And vice versa. To my knowledge, though, the golf carts are no more. I'm not looking at the email, so I don't remember if it's because, oh, there we go. I was about to say, I don't remember if it's because they sold out or the deadline has passed, but so we're going to focus on these floats only. In regards to, oh, Lord. Is that accurate? Can we confirm that? I don't even want to know. If your timber got a float, I want to be an associate member. I'm playing. Because y'all got some money. Anyway, do we have anything else? Let me pull this down. For the team of mine in the background. No? Okay. Well, here we go. I'm sorry.
Although this is not part of the topics, but one of our leads would love for you to address AI. AI is an issue that we're having.
No, you don't. You don't want me to address that. No,
please address it. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. But please address that.
No, you don't. Hey, Anna, come here.
Well, I'm here.
Address AI. I want to see this.
Look, we understand everybody thinks they're a designer. We understand sometimes you can't pay somebody to do something for you. All I need to say is, please stop putting our logos in AI. Thank you.
All right. So again, the team's being modest. I'm not about to be. Okay. AI is a very helpful tool if it is used correctly. Okay. The problem with AI in this organization is it is being used incorrectly, and it is providing a false sense of entitlement to people that probably shouldn't even be designing anything in the first place. Okay. What do I mean by that? I said this on the last call. This is an opinion. Let me make sure that you all know that this is an opinion and this is not the standpoint of AA or NMS or its auxiliary. Let the potentate and commanders have their turn. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Now, somebody on Tech Yeah, that was good. Put the disclaimer up there. Anyway, if you are a marshal in your temple or court, why you got to tell folks happy Valentine's Day? Why did you find the need to go AI you an image for you to say, wait your turn? Just, you'll get there one day, hopefully. Why? I don't understand the need for when you put your images in AI, I mean your image as in your person, zoom in, okay? Your collars, nobles, have the symbol in it. Daughters, it has the symbol in it. Daughters, that jewel at the bottom, it says something, okay? AI has two problems. First problem that AI has, or three. AI has a tone problem. Y'all making these AI flyers and we know it instantly because they all dark skin. Every single one of them dark skin. Look like it was created in the shadows. Look like anybody that was did photography back in the day where you had to dip the Polaroids in the little black ink and let it hang. And y'all know what I'm doing? No, okay. That's what all them AI flyers look. We know it instantly. Matter of fact, when y'all submit them souvenir journals for approval and it's dark like that, I don't even look at it. I let the team do it because I'm gonna hit decline because it's wrong. How do I know it's wrong? Zoom in. The second thing AI has a problem with is small words. It's going to take your temple name or number on your fez, and it's going to look like a stitched gold square. Oh, and another thing, when y'all take y'all selfies, and some of y'all done got good, y'all get like y'all selfie stick and y'all set it up and y'all want to take y'all picture, turn the mirroring off. Because when y'all send in the pictures, and it's supposed to say Palestine Temple number 18, and instead it says Ian Stein 18 number. I tried to say it in reverse. Don't y'all judge me. I'm stupid. It's going to mirror your image. So pay attention to that. Back on AI, small words, small letters. The third thing it has a problem with is your number of fingers and toes. Okay? If you want to see if somebody AI'd an image, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get the Imperial Council to approve that when you use AI, you got to put this was generated by AI stamp on it. Maybe we should try that. Maybe that will get people to actually involve people with an actual skill set. So here's my recommendation when it comes to AI. Don't let it make you think that you're a graphic designer. That's the first recommendation. The second recommendation is if you're going to use it properly. And what I mean, if you have an idea of a background or imagery in your head, then let it create that. And then you go in and put the images or the logos on top of what AI has created. Okay? Don't upload your picture and then tell it to make something using this picture. All right? 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with 6 fingers. Or your collar. Some of y'all done went and looked since we've been on here at an AI image you did, zoomed in on the collar and realized that that's a bird on that daughter collar. It's a bird. It's a phoenix. I don't know what it is, but it ain't what belongs there. Let me check some of these images. Yep, Cruz said hands. Everyone won't do. Y'all can take them opinions stated down. That disclaimer is done at this point. The fact of the matter is, if you use AI improperly, now who did that? Now you think y'all were doing good. Now y'all done put that up there and didn't even put a QR code. That's just wrong. You want them to write down the link? Y'all use your heads. Anyway, it is to do. All right. Let's unpack this, which it is due to copyright. Yeah. So he is correct. He is correct. AI is going to make changes due to copyright infringement. One thing about these AI big giants, they not ready to deal with a lawsuit from AA or NMS. All right? The reason why is because that is a trademark logo. Some of y'all that's taking these logos and giving them to I was gonna be funny. People overseas and things of that nature, you are in direct violation of the social media policy and committing copyright infringement. All right. We just not the social media police. We're not gonna go find every single person. We're not even looking. Is should it become an issue, you are guilty. All right. There is a process for a trademark. Um, what am I so correct about? I don't know. Your face is completely changed. Yeah, some of y'all using AI, and so I don't listen. If you are a Photoshop user, you know, some people got do I got it? Like the lines in their neck and stuff. You can go in and polish those things up. That takes skill. When you tell AI to do it, you just went from your 41-year-old self to your 67-year-old self or your 18-year-old self. And we looking at your image like that ain't even what she look like in real life. But y'all do it anyway. Let me see. What else we got here? You welcome for the education. I'm just here to, anyway. Everyone won't do it even if you put that on the image. Everyone won't do Everyone won't do it even if you put that on the image. I'm sure you had a point. I missed it. Hey, full sentences, please, folks. Y'all been said something, and I got to go back to it way after I've been said what I said. I don't know what y'all be talking about. But anyway, if there isn't anything else, do y'all see anything else? We can wrap this up. Not trying to hold y'all for a very long time, but the parade is very important. This is the first introduction. Rephrase. This is the second introduction to the information regarding the parade. If you read the communication that was sent out from IMR, you will know everything you need to know. If you complete the form, you will know everything you need to know, and you will get all the information in real time as it is presented. So I don't have anything else. Thanks for all the information. Y'all welcome. Y'all welcome. Just trying to do our little job. I'm gonna pass it back off to Dr. Fields, illustrious commander. Hold on, wait a minute. What she said? I missed the information on flyers. I saw something on the bottom of the screen. That was the link. You can find the link, aaonms.org/IMR. Feel free. There's more information that will continue to be added to that. There's the full link, which somebody on my tech team probably didn't have their coffee this morning because I don't know how they expect y'all to scan it. Hey, Deanna.
Hey.
Oh, hold on right before I go, because I'm petty today. Illustrious commanders, don't come in here playing with me. Okay, don't come here playing with me. All right, bye now. Yes, this information will be shared. Again, it will be in the AA or in this app shortly after this broadcast is over.
All right. Well, thanks to all the wonderful presenters. Thanks, Hustle, for jumping in, clarifying some stuff. Courtney, thank you too. Thanks to everyone. Thank you for taking out your time to meet with us today. And we are out. Peace.